If Colombians are watching this video, they're probably thinking, why make a video about LULO? LULO isn't special or exciting. Well, in the United States, I don't think most people have tasted a LULO, and it's probably true of many other parts of the world, and that is too bad because there's a lot of LULO, and they could be eating it. Last I heard, LULO was approved for import to the United States, as are several other fruits that gringos still are not tasting. My understanding of how that works is that if the fruit import companies don't have enough control of price per supply, then they prefer to distribute things like pineapples and bananas, where they can kind of set the price, and the suppliers have to go along with it. With LULO, that's probably less true. Colombia is not the only country that produces LULO, but Colombia has a lot of LULO. I tell you, it really does. So, LULO. What I did is I tried to get the largest one and the smallest one I could find. The reason I keep looking off to the side is because I'm trying to look at two things. Okay. I can't put the monitor in the middle. Forget it. So I tried to get the largest and the smallest LULO that I could find in the market this particular time, and I have seen them a lot smaller than this. Although I think they're used, they're not normally offered in commercial markets. Maybe there's not demand for them, or because they have a larger surface area in terms of the skin, they may be used for fragrance extraction or some other. I don't know. But the smaller ones, when I've seen them smaller, I've seen them being used for juice. By people making juice. If you do see them like this, and I picked the greenest one that I could find that particular time, and you will see them more green. They're perfectly edible when they're half green like this, or even more green. But again, those are I think they're mostly used for juice. Now, I've seen people deliberately buying them like this. They make a juice that doesn't come out orange, and it doesn't come out orange anyway, but it comes out extra green instead of a brownish color. And they add sugar to it. So these might be a little bit sweeter, a little bit more, or it might just be my perception. I don't know. In any case, these are completely orange, and so I'm going to start. I'll cut open the small orange one. Oh, it's already bruised. There we go. So if you check Wikipedia or some other source, which I have open here, that's what I'm trying to look at for the nutritional information, which I cannot memorize. This is what it looks like inside. And one nice thing about it is that the skin comes loose very easily, very, very easily. This is much easier to peel than almost any fruit that you'll see anywhere. Since I've already made a mess, I'm not going to pretend this isn't a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. Okay. Again, it has those tiny seeds. There's no way you're possibly ever going to remove these seeds. Not possible. They're right there in the fruit. Oh. Okay. It is very acid, but it's also pretty sweet, and it has a really complex but subtle aromatic quality. I mentioned it's comparing to some other fruits. It's a little bit skunky or musky, but that's when you're smelling. Once you actually have it in your mouth, you mostly notice the acidity and this bizarre, multi-dimensional "what is that" quality on your tongue. So the "what is that" is the nutritional content that you will not get from most of the fruits that are being exported from Colombia to the United States, such as pineapples and bananas that are fiber, water, and sugar. What's in a LULO? According to Wikipedia, 90% water, approximately 1% protein, which is not bad for a fruit, and especially an abundant and cheap fruit. You notice if you handle these, you'll notice they're really, really heavy. Okay, I'll get to that in a minute. The fat is less than 1/10,000th of a percent fat, so effectively no fat. It does not mean if you eat sugars and oils, your body turns them into fat. and probably does that more efficiently than breaking down fat to turn it back into fat. That's a separate video. But this thing about not getting fat by eating fat, it doesn't mathematically it doesn't work. Carbohydrates, 3.8%. And that is listed as separate from sugar, so I won't tell you there are no calories. There are calories. Fiber, 1.4%. I would easily believe that. Sugar, 3%. It doesn't sound like much, but that's a substantial amount of sugar. I don't know what the profile of sugars is. So do they metabolize at different rates? Is it somehow better for your system to have a more complex array of sugars? I don't know. It doesn't taste like glucose to me. It doesn't taste like calories. Kilocalories per 100 grams is 18. I don't have any immediate basis of comparison between this and some other fruit. Vitamin C, 2.6%. Now, what is if you look at this, what would be 2.6% of this thing is vitamin C, ascorbic acid. That if you're taking an ascorbic acid supplement, a vitamin C supplement, it probably has less vitamin C than what I just ate off this plate, and I didn't even. It's a very large amount of vitamin C, and if you check this, how much vitamin C do humans need? I can't advise you. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a doctor. Humans don't produce their own vitamin C. Guinea pigs don't produce their own vitamin C. Most animals, most mammals do, and the figure I was given for rats, if you scaled up a rat to human size, it would produce between 9 and 15 grams of its own vitamin C per day. So I don't know. I don't know how much vitamin C people are supposed to get. I do know this. I've been told, and I'm not the expert, people keep telling me, though, if you take supplements, that because of the way they're structured and the way your body responds to them, you'll probably just excrete most of it. If you excrete most of this vitamin C, you're still going to be getting a lot of vitamin C, no question. Very, very large amount of vitamin C, and I'm not sure, how much vitamin C weighs, but I mentioned the weight before, and it may have had a science class where you stirred some salt into a container of water to see if you could increase the rate without increasing the volume, and it works. And this is kind of natural experiment to see, can we squeeze the whole upper half of the periodic chart into a fruit without increasing its volume? Something like that. I don't know. We're getting on to the next part here. Calcium is 5.9 to 12.4 milligrams per 100 grams of nutrients. What is 100 grams of nutrients? It's certainly less than this. This thing weighs a lot more than 100 grams. Phosphorus, 12.0 to 43.7 milligrams. Iron, 0.34 to 0.64 milligrams. This is per 100 grams of nutrients. Okay, so I keep mentioning how heavy the thing is. You just have to see it. Carotene you have to be cautious with carotene. Believe it or not, you have to be cautious with carotene. 0.71 to 0.232 milligrams per 100 grams of nutrients. That's not a dangerous amount. I'm not sure how many LULOs you would have to eat in order to get carotenemia. I think probably you would have some kind of coronary incident from the ascorbic acid long before that. The thiamine is 0.04 to 0.94 milligrams, riboflavin 0.03 to 0.47 milligrams, and niacin 1.19 to 1.76 milligrams. This is for 100 grams of nutrients. For Wikipedia shows the Costa Rican sample of LULO. How the Colombian sample would be different, I don't know. I don't think it could be really very different, considering these variances. They would probably overlap. Colombia is a very large country compared to Costa Rica, or compared to a lot of countries, really. How many regions do the LULO come from? I don't know. The variance is probably greater in terms of the nutrients than what's indicated on this chart. So this is an almost 10-minute video. I can't believe I spent almost 10 minutes talking about LULO. Let's talk about something else for another 10 minutes. No. I'm just going to talk about LULO. It's no. I'm going to stop there.